All right, y'all. We are here for the finals. I'm a little bit sick. This pollen outside is tearing me up, so hopefully y'all can hear me and we'll get through it. But yeah, the finale it just finished, and I'm a little bit sad. If you can't tell, but we'll get into it. But if you are new here, please hit subscribe because I know they just finished the challenge 41. That's probably gonna come later on this year. I will be checking it out. Hopefully, I'll be able to finish it because this is the first time I finished a full season of the challenge since I got on here. I've tried and never got through it because they bored me, but I was entertained the entire season. So I got to the end, and I'm very proud of myself. But if you're proud of me, thumbs up the video, drop a comment down below. Let me know y'all's thoughts. But yeah, let's not waste too much more time. Let's go ahead and get on into it. All right, so we get back to where we see pretty much the standings. In first place right now is Shane and Devin. Melissa and Nicole are in third. They're in third. Steve and Adam are in second, and Frank and Sam are in fourth. So this is heading into the fifth checkpoint. Adam already knows that him and Steve, they got to play catch up, trying to catch up to Devin and Shane because they're in the lead at this point. So we get to the checkpoint number 5, which is the eating checkpoint called Pho King Trivia, where they pretty much begin with a bowl of pho, whatever that is, with shot glasses with a bunch of nasty shit and concoctions. And if they answer the question wrong, they have to put one of them little nasty concoctions in their bowl. If they get it correct, they get to choose from one of the teams to put the concoctions into theirs. And at the end of all the questions, they all have to eat what's in their bowl, and whoever finishes it first will win the most amount of stars. So they begin, and Shane and Devin, they end up getting one of the questions right, and they start off, and Shane's like, we're just going to go down the line to make it fair. And he goes and pours his in Nicole and Melissa's. Nicole's pissed off about it. So when it's their turn, they go and do it back to Shane and Devin. And then Frank and Sam also were targeting Shane and Devin, obviously, because they're in first place. At this point, you want to try and knock them down. Shane was pissed because Nicole was pissed. And Shane goes, after they answer the question correct again, and goes back and puts it back in Nicole and Melissa's because he's like, now at this point, it's personal. But it's time to drink, essentially. And everybody starts drinking. And everybody essentially is struggling except for Steve and Frank. Steve, we found out that Steve has participated in a lot of eating competitions, so this is right up his alley. But Adam and Steve, they finished first. They win 4 stars. Frank and Sam, they get second. They get 3 stars. Nicole is over there throwing up in the bowl that her and Melissa are supposed to be eating together. And Melissa's like, man, you just threw up in that shit. I don't want to eat that. But Shane and Devin, they finished third. They get 2 stars. And Nicole and Melissa are last, and they get 1 star. So at the end of this checkpoint, Shane and Devin are still in the lead with 15. Adam and Steve have 14. Frank and Sam and Nicole and Melissa are tied with 10. So TJ ends up letting them know, go to sleep. I got to see y'all in the morning. Y'all going to need some rest. So they sleeping outside. So the next day, Adam, which is the final day of the final, Adam, he essentially wants to propose to Avery if he wins the money. So that's what he's doing it for. But we get to the 6th checkpoint, which is called High Tide. Now what they have to do is run down this steep sand dune into their team-colored boats, get in and paddle a mile, and then attach the boat to the shore and race up to the finish line. So they begin. Essentially, Steve tweaked something when they was running down, and Sam, obviously, she's far behind everybody else when they're running, but when they all get to the boats and whatnot, they're paddling off. Nicole and Melissa, the communication is not there. They're struggling. They're really trying to figure out a way to actually row correctly, and they can't do it because they don't know how to communicate. But Adam and Steve, they're essentially ahead of everybody. Frank and Sam are like right behind them. But Frank notices that Adam and Steve are going in the wrong direction. So they start trying to go this way. And at the point when they get to the shore, it gets really, really close. And Frank and Sam ended up winning. They ended up beating them up there, which was essentially one of the most physical parts of this entire final. And Sam pulled her weight and got her and Frank that win. So this is their first win at the checkpoints. And they got 4 stars. Frank, he's optimistic because they won the most physical part of the final, so now he feels like they have a chance to win. But Adam and Steve, they finished second. They get 3 stars. Nicole and Melissa finished third with 2 stars, and Devin and Shane finished last and get 2 stars. So I think, regardless, Adam and Steve have now taken over. They're in first place with 17. Shane and Devin are in second with 16. Frank and Sam are in third now with 13, and Nicole and Melissa have 12. So we get to the 7th checkpoint, which is called Shoulder the Load. Now, essentially, they have to race down to the water, and they've got these Vietnamese bowls where it's like a little stick, and they got these little flat type of bowls or whatnot, and they're flat, that they have to go get water and transfer it into these cylinders. They have to fill it all the way up to a certain point, and whoever does it the fastest wins. So they start doing it, and Steve's having his leg issues. Sam is struggling with her knee, and Sam's now having trouble breathing at this point. And Frank is like, I'm tired of the excuses. He's yelling at her now. Sam's saying she's going to pass out. He's like, you're not going to pass out. Like, we're literally barely running. He's screaming at her at this point. So Frank ends up saying he's got a doctorate in physical therapy, and they show a flashback of him like 30 minutes before, pretty much like kind of giving her treatment or whatever on her knee. And he's like, nothing is wrong with that knee. I'm like, is there nothing really wrong with that knee? Because it's a strong possibility. She has a lot of weight. And when you put a lot of weight on certain knees that are not as great, it can hinder her. But she's falling all over the place, and he's screaming at her to get up. Shane and Devin and Adam and Steve, essentially, they are neck and neck to finish. They got 5 minutes left on the clock. Shane and Devin win another checkpoint. I'm so mad because if Frank didn't fuck them over on that one checkpoint, we'll get to it. But they win 4 stars. Adam and Steve finish second with 3 stars. Frank and Sam and Nicole and Melissa, they all get DQ'd. They didn't finish in time. So, Adam and Steve and Shane and Devin are now tied with 20 stars. Like I said, if they would have won that one checkpoint, they would have been in the lead. Frank and Sam have 14. Nicole and Melissa have 12. Melissa's now crying because she knows at this point we're literally just running this final just to get 4th place. Like, we're not winning. So, and obviously she's mad because the only good placement in terms of the money is 1st place. Everything else, especially 4th place, it's chump change. You should have just stayed at home. But Sam ends up saying, because Frank is yelling at Sam, saying, like, I want you to want to win more than this hurt on your knee. Like, you need to push through it. Like, he's going off on her. And she's like, I want to do the best for him and us as a team, but it's hard. But Steve goes to Frank because Frank is crashing out at this point. He's crying, talking about how much work he's put in and yada, yada, yada. He's about to crash out. Devin, being the saint that she is over there trying to pep talk Sam. And she's like, she's pleasantly surprised with how her and Shane are the only team that's essentially working really, really well together in the final, whereas everybody else around them is crashing out. But Frank and Sam, they end up sitting down, and Frank is finally talking to her like a human being. And the way he came at her here is what he should have been doing, but he essentially tells her the truth about herself. Like, and it's some real truths that she needed to hear. He's pretty much telling her, like, I want you to take care of yourself when you get home. Like, this shit can become a bigger issue if you're not at home taking care of yourself. Essentially what he's saying is, you are obese. You are too big, which is why you're having all these issues. And it's like, he's 100% correct. Like, being overweight shortens your life expectancy. So she's got to get that. And he's not lying. Like, you got to get this in check. That's why you're having knee issues. That's why you're just having all types of injuries because all of that weight on you is not healthy. And he's pretty much stating that, and he's saying it in a really, really sentimental way. He's pretty much telling her, like, I want you to get the help, and I'm down to help you because you got to change something up. Like, something about this is not going to have to happen the way that it is, because he's pretty much stating, like, if you want to live, you got to fix something. And she's like, yeah, I know. And he ends up saying in his confessional that he doesn't want to contribute to her feeling like she's less than or not worth anything. He wants her to feel supported and take back her body and her health, which I'm like, I'm glad you said that. And you can tell, all in all, even though he was going off on her, you can tell that's really where it comes down to, and that's where it's coming from. It's coming from a good place. He just don't know how to say it. Like, when he was crashing out in the moment, he was crashing out. But we get to the final checkpoint. It's called Balance Them All. And they've got 20 different bags with different weights in the bags, and they have to essentially balance it on this balance beam, on a teeter-totter. And they also have to get themselves on it. So they get all 20 bags on it, and then they have to balance it with themselves on it on each end as well. And the first team to finish gets the max amount of stars. This is the final checkpoint. So we know Adam and Steve, Devin and Shane, whoever wins, because they literally have the same amount of points. So Adam and Steve and Devin and Shane, of course, are neck and neck. Neck and neck. When they finished, it was like, who the fuck won? Because they both finished around and damn near at the same time. And they know whoever wins the money, which both teams, like I said, they finished around the same time, which I was mad because I keep thinking about what Frank did last week. But Frank and Sam, they finished third, and Nicole and Melissa finished last. So TJ gets them all together to reveal the final placements. Fourth place is Nicole and Melissa. They get $5,000. I'd be mad as hell because they got to split that. And then third place was Frank and Sam. They got $10,000. Second place was Shane and Devin. I was so upset. I'm like, damn, if they would not have gotten fucked on that checkpoint, they would have won. But Steve and Adam win $250,000. Congratulations to them. But TJ ends up letting them know, essentially, there's unfinished business. They have to go over here and put certain boards together and kind of guess what their partner will say, if their partner will steal the money or split the money. He tried to fake us out at the end, but they decided to split the money. And Adam, he finishes pretty much telling Avery, which I'm assuming if they watch the episode right now, they're probably engaged now, but he pretty much asked her, like, if you're watching this, look over to the left because I'm proposing you and hopefully you want to be my wife, and we'll see. But I'm pretty sure they will be. So congratulations to them. That was the season. That was the end of the season. I did it. I'm proud of myself. I'll see y'all for the Challenge 41. I'm going to check that out. There's a lot of good people that I saw on the cast. And yeah, I'll see y'all then. But thank y'all so much for rocking with me this season. Thumbs up the video, drop a comment down below, share and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.